The National Housing Authority hopes to complete its shelter program for informal settlers before President Aquino's term ends in barely 6 months. To be benefited are those living in danger zones. More of this report from Freddie Abando.
In almost 6 years of the Aquino administration, housing was among its priority programs. The resettlement program for informal settlers living along danger zones has been a major priority. The relocation of 104,000 families in Metro Manila who are primary victims of flooding whenever a typhoon strikes. A great majority live along the banks of major rivers to include Marikina, Pasig, and San Juan plus the Esteros. The National Housing Authority has been the lead agency. By the time the President ends his term in June, the program is expected to be completed. The strategy is in-city and off-city. It's a mix of medium-rise tenements and low-cost housing.
We had constructed so many sites around Metro Manila and even low-rise buildings in Metro Manila. And we have relocated already a good number of them, so away from the danger zone to the safe areas. Ang difficulty with Metro Manila is land is very difficult to find, and of course it is very expensive, and that is why we had to go outside of Metro Manila, but in fact that is not far away. It's within the periphery of Metro Manila, so it's here in San Jose del Monte, for example, in Pandi, in Trece Martires, in Antipolo.
The armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police benefited greatly in housing benefits under the leadership of President Aquino. To date, 61,378 units were built and completed. 42,136 families benefited from the program. The families of the South 44 killed in the Mama Sapano incident were granted housing units amounting to 300,000 pesos each.
As this is a priority project of the President, he had funded this. Ang sabi kasi ng Presidente, he understands that most of the AFP and PNP personnel are just renting out. So he thought to provide permanent decent housing to them. Kaya nagbigay siya ng pondo ng NHA, and initially it started dito sa around Metro Manila, but now it's fully implemented across all regions of the Philippines. SAF heroes, at least their beneficiaries had been allocated 300,000 pesos housing assistance. So it comes in various forms. Pwedeng they take up yung AFP, PNP housing ng NHA. Pwedeng they can use the money to buy a lot, or if they own an existing house, to repair or improve that house. So in all this, tumutulong ang National Housing Authority.
The President also provided housing assistance for calamity victims to include victims of Super Typhoon Yolanda in the Visayan region and Pablo in Mindanao, and the victims of the Zamboanga City siege. The construction of housing units for Yolanda victims has gained significantly in recent months. The problem of acquiring lands has been solved.
We have relocated already several sa Tacloban. For the other areas affected by Yolanda, rest assured that the housing requirement, for as long as that is within the comprehensive rehabilitation and recovery program to 205,000, it is already fully funded. So the entire budgetary requirement for NHA up to 2016 has been approved by the President. So tuloy-tuloy na ang pagpapatayo ng bahay sa kanila.
Wala nang problema, no hitches?
Wala nang hitches kasi initially medyo na-delay looking for government land whereon we will do construction. Pero towards the end, the decision was we will just acquire private land para ma-fast track yung housing construction.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.